lightning indoors. And number 3, learn about how to stay safe from lightning outdoors. All culminating in a flashy finale where I turn on all the machines I can at once and make a whole lot of noise. How does that sound?
Oh, that's awesome.
Now,
Would you be ready to
let's
come
jump
here?
right in. Number 1, the electric force. In order to talk about that, we need to get down to the microscopic levels and talk about these teeny tiny particles called electric charges.
Sorry for that.
These particles are in everything around us, the invisible air and our bodies included. There are exactly two types of these. There are electrons, which are negative, and protons, which are
Positive.
positive, exactly. Now, who here has ever heard the phrase opposites attract? Great, well that does not just apply to human romance, it also applies to electric charges. When you have two opposite charges, a positive and negative, there is a tendency for them to attract towards each other. So an electron and a positive want to pull towards each other. The reverse is also true. When you have two same charges, they want to push away from each other. They want to repel. So two electrons are going to repel away from each other. Two protons are going to repel away from each other. This tendency to attract and repel is known as the electric force. So what does that have to do with lightning? Well, lightning happens when a group of those negatively charged electrons gathers up in the clouds and then feels that electric force enough to push their way to the ground in the form of lightning. Now, you might be thinking, Chris, if everything around us has electric charges, why aren't we all attracting and repelling away from each other all the time? And more importantly, if I have electric charges, why can't I shoot lightning out of my fingers? Great question, so glad you asked. The answer is because we are balanced. We have just about as many negative charges as we have positive charges, leaving us with an overall neutral charge. The fun, however, in my opinion, starts when these charges get unbalanced. There are lots of ways to separate your charges, leaving you with an unbalanced charge. You all might have already done some of them. Has anyone here ever put on fuzzy socks, rubbed their feet on a carpet, and found their nearest enemy, sibling, and given them a nice little zap? No one?
Me?
Some people have. That was because
Static
you separated
shock.
your charges. You gave yourself unbalanced charge. Those electrons will feel that electric force enough to those protons that they were able to jump through the air in the form of an electrostatic discharge. An electrostatic discharge, or a release of static electricity. Another type of electrostatic discharge, or spark, you might be familiar with is lightning. A big, loud spark. When we see lightning, what we're actually seeing is really hot air. The electrons moving, or electricity, heats up the air so much that it glows. It can heat up the air to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't know how hot that is, the surface of the sun is roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can understand why we want to try to stay around lightning. Now when the air undergoes that rapid and extreme heating, it shakes all the air particles all around it. And that shakes all the air particles next to that. And next to that, and next to that, and so on and so forth, until it shakes the air particles next to our ears and we hear it as
Sound.
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 Sound, yeah, exactly. When we separate charges with soft feet and a carpet, or a balloon and a head of hair, we do it on a really small scale. But I have with me on stage a really good charge separator that is able to do this on a massive scale. If you look back to the center of the theater,
Okay, now it's happening.
a whole lot of noise earlier.
Come right here.
The world's largest air-insulated Van de Graaff generator. This machine is super special. It's almost 100 years old. We are super lucky to have it. It was built by the inventor of the machine himself, Robert Van de Graaff. Because it's really old, sometimes it breaks. But we fixed it so you guys get to enjoy it today. Now this guy uses static electricity. Static like in one place. So what happens is those electrons move up the columns and stay in one place up on those terminals, those big aluminum spheres, until they build up enough and something comes close enough for it to jump with that electrostatic discharge. But it's not the only machine I have with me on stage, and it's not the only type of electricity we use. If you look at either side of the stage, you'll see a different type of spark-making machine. These guys are called Tesla coils. These use current electricity. So instead of those electrons gathering in one place and releasing, those electrons are constantly moving. They come in through a plug, they go around this primary coil. The electric force actually helps them repel and move more electrons on the inner coil that it's not attached to. Then electrons come out the top in the form of visible sparks and continue down through the air invisibly. These look and sound a little different from our Van de Graaff spark. right? How do they look different? You can try it out.
Smaller and bigger.
The ones from the Vandergrift were louder and bigger, right?
Yeah, louder and bigger.
Thank you guys, I heard you. Now, remember how that thunder sound is made? By shaking air particles? A bigger spark is shaking more air particles, so we're going to hear it as louder. A smaller spark shaking fewer air particles, so we're going to hear it as lighter. I would love to share with you another Tesla coil that sounds a little different. We are going to be looking at my left side of the stage, this white colored column, this tall silver donut on top, and I want to hear how you guys think that one is different from these. As a warning and a spoiler, I'm putting on the I'm recommending you to stand, especially if you're hanging out over there. Alrighty, ear protection is going on. Very loud noise in 3, 2, 1. How do you like that one?
Not that bad. Not that bad. Not that bad.
3, 2, 1. That's my favorite one. Alrighty. Bigger. How did it sound different? Louder, exactly. Bigger spark shaking more air particles.
Constant.
It was also constant. Yes, exactly. So
What is
these
it?
guys
What
make
is
a lot
it?
more sparks per second than the Van de Graaff. The Van de Graaff is making 2 or 3 maybe.
Can
These
we
guys make so many you
leave?
can't hear each individual one. So here it is constant. These guys make 120 sparks every single second. Alrighty, now we have yet another type of Tesla coil that is also very special because it can change the frequency at which it makes its sparks. If you look to the opposite side of the stage as our smart cap Tesla coil, you will see our solid state Tesla coils. These, I can give it instructions to make really high frequency sparks that sound like they're up here, and really low frequency sparks that sound like they're down here. What can you make when you have a machine that can make notes at different frequencies?
Music.
Music. So I would love to play for you a little song from our solid state Tesla coil. My protection is going on.
Well, you covered it, I'm covering it.
Is it gonna be loud?
Yeah, when she puts hers on, that's when. Ready? Go.
I'm done. Not that bad either. Not that bad either.
All right, come here.
All those machines will make a reappearance in our flashy finale if we can quiet down together.
It's so
Thank you guys. Alrighty, so all those machines will make a reappearance in our flashy finale. But first, we've learned what is the electric force. We've learned how I can make lightning indoors a little bit. And now let's talk about how we can stay safe from lightning outdoors. Let's set a quick scene. Let's say we are playing soccer in the backyard or gardening and we hear a storm rolling in. Where do you go to stay safe?
Building.
Inside, in your house, exactly. Now, when lightning strikes a building, those electrons are going to try to find the fastest and easiest path down to the ground. In a home, that's going to be through things like electrical wiring, metal piping, and plumbing. So while you are safe in most places in your home if it gets struck by lightning, you actually do want to be careful in places like the toilet, the tub, the sink, using plugged-in appliances or charging electronics. For any friends that are just coming in, just know that we need to keep the staircase completely clear for the entire show. Thank you so much. Alrighty, that means keep moving down or go up if you are on the stairs. Thank you guys so much. Okay, that was the easy one, scenario number 1. Let's go to scenario number 2. Let's say we are not at home. It was a beautiful day, so we drove out to have a picnic. Not a building in sight when we hear that storm rolling in. Unfortunately, I am not allowed to continue the show if we are on the staircase. No podemos estar en la escalera. We can't be on the stairs. Thank you guys so much. There's some room on the blue carpet back there already. Thank you guys for your cooperation. So, we drove out to have a blue picnic on this beautiful day, and then a storm rolls in. Where do you go to stay safe? In your car. What part of your car keeps you safe if it gets struck by lightning?
Inside. Inside. The wheel.
So I was asking what part of the car? And our friends over here said the
Wheel.
wheels. Why did they say the tires? Because it's not conducting, because it's an insulator. So tires are made of rubber, rubber is an insulator. Lots of us were taught growing
Rubber's
up
kind of
that
bad.
the rubber keeps you safe in the
Rubber
tires
can't-
if it gets struck by lightning.
doesn't pass
I think
electricity.
we were
Passes
lied to,
electricity
that it's
really
not the
good.
case. And we can logic it through. Think about it. If those electrons in the sky are feeling the electric force strong enough to move through another really good insulator, what's the really good insulator it's already moving through? Air
Tire.
is already moving through miles and miles of insulating air. So if it's feeling the electric force to push its way through miles and miles of insulating air, do you think a few inches of insulating rubber are going to stop it?
No.
No. So what else could it be?
The metal.
The metal. If we thought it was indeed the metal keeping us safe in a vehicle that gets struck by lightning, we would probably want to test that, right? And we would probably need something surrounded by metal of some sort.
The bird
And with a
cage.
giant metal bird cage. You would also probably need a willing victim.
You.
Luckily for you all, you have me. So I
A
am
willing
going
victim.
to hop inside this conveniently crisp-sized bird cage. I am going to raise myself up to be the highest thing in the sky, and we are going to make some sparks. Now, every time I do this, the higher I go, the more nervous I get. So I am going to need your help. Can anyone give me any advice on how I can stay safe while I'm up here? Stay in the middle.
No,
Don't touch the metal.
trick question. No. Just be inside.
Be inside, you got it.
Don't touch lightning.
Don't touch the lightning.
Literally. That's basically it.
Don't touch the metal.
You're allowed to touch the metal. That's okay.
That's it? No one cares what happens to me?
Yes. You know what? Yes.
Stay still.
You know what? Yes.
Can't make out some of that, Derek. Okay, I am getting to about the height that I would like to go. Now I am going to warm up my machine. I am going to put on my ear protection. I am going to cross my fingers, and we're going to see how this thing goes. Please, wish me luck.
No. No, wish me luck.
My ear protection is going on.
Hurry up, lightning. Why is it the lightning going? Hurry up. What? Alright, this one is really bad.
and something called the skin effect. The skin effect is the tendency of electrons to travel on the outside skin of an enclosed conductor that's experiencing a quick and powerful jolt of electricity like lightning. So, I was totally safe touching anywhere on the inside of the cage. But if I had grabbed onto the bars or otherwise stuck my body through the spaces in between, the show would have had a very different and slightly earlier ending. But thankfully, I did not. Now, something to keep in mind about the skin effect is that it generally only keeps you safe in the cases of quick and powerful jolts of electricity like lightning. You would not, for example, want to be in contact with anything like a downed power line. That is current electricity. You would not want to go near anything like that. But thankfully, I survived, and once my cage allows me to descend, we will move on to our flashy finale. Let's see. There we go.
The double
Take
F.
some time sometimes. Now, before we get to the finale, what on earth did we do today? We learned what the electric force is. We learned some ways that I can make lightning indoors, and we learned some ways to stay safe from lightning outdoors. This finale will be the formal end to my show, so I want to thank you all for being such a lovely audience. If you have any questions, comments, stories, feel free to come on up and chat later. Just make sure you are staying off the stage, and I will come to you. But for now, I ask that you sit back and relax, if you can, and enjoy our symphony of sparks. I will definitely be putting on my ear protection. I recommend you do the same.
Okay. Ready?
Wait, will it be super long? Okay. No, it's about 3 minutes.